Hey all, Happy New Year. So far 2021 feels scary like 2020, and that's not a compliment. But yeah, here we are. It's a new year, and we are getting started-ish on a new session. My tell went welcome back, because we're not actually back, are we? Things are different. And sadly they are scary familiar in that they are different. And we've been here before. And it's not somewhere we wanted to be again, but kinda is what it is. So what I wanted to do with today's video was have a bit of a chat with you guys about some thoughts, some tips, some advice about how to make life as easy, productive, useful, call it what you want, going forwards as we can. Now, before I get too into this, one quick health warning, this video might be a little bit patronising in places. It's not meant to be. I know you know the stuff I'm going to talk about. I know that the vast majority of you guys know everything that I'm going to say. You've already got it all in your head. But sometimes it's nice to hear this stuff out loud. And sometimes it's nice to just have a chance to think about, right, I'm not in my usual place in terms of learning, in terms of going to school, but I need to try and achieve something, and this is some thoughts and tips to try and make that as straightforward as possible. Now, what I will say here is this video isn't specifically aimed at any of my classes. So, if you're not in one of my classes right now, and you're catching this stuff on YouTube or whatever, hopefully there's some stuff in here that will help you as well. It's just aimed to try and give everyone some thoughts, some advice on stuff moving forwards. So yeah, so without further ado, things to remember, things to think about. You're not in the usual kind of frame of learning that we have been used to. Okay, yeah, we've experienced this a bit this year, but the entire experience you've got of school, of whatever, is very, very different to what we have right now. So some thoughts, things that can help you. Now, number one, organisation. Being organised is really, really important. When you're at school, we make you organised. There are bells, there are places you have to be at a certain time, and then you are going to be forced, hopefully not against your will, to do jobs that are going to help you develop in a particular subject. That side of things isn't here anymore, or it's not here right now. Hopefully it'll be back soon. Hopefully we're not going to be doing this for more than a couple of weeks, but we don't know. So this is just about thinking about how to keep yourself as organised as you can be. Now, the biggest tip I can give you here is don't try and do this on your own. Use tools to help you achieve this. There are lots of tools out there. Teams. Now, if you are not in one of my classes right now, if you're maybe at a school somewhere that's using things like Google Classroom, different platforms, it's all the same idea. They all have similar tools to achieve the same job. So, if you're thinking about teams, here's my third year team. Thankfully, guys, none of your actual work is here, so if you are in my S3 class, don't worry. But, if you look at teams, along the left-hand side, you've got a calendar. Now, yes, it tells you the day of the week. Today is the 6th of January. It also gives you the ability to kind of organise your time. You can create a little thing, and you can do, you can tell yourself to do something, you can slot it for a specific time, you can add reminders to make this shout at you. Use the tool to help you do what you need to do, to help you get organised. Other things, your phones, use them. Again, same idea. They've got calendars in them. They've got ways that you can try and schedule your time. And again, if you're anything like me, having a thing that will shout at you and say, do this thing that you said was important, is helpful. It's important. It helps to keep you on track. So use these things to your advantage. You could even go old school and use pieces of paper and write things down with like a pen, which is really old-fashioned these days. But, anything. Use the tool that is going to help you most to be as organised as possible. Caveat with the pieces of paper, don't set them on fire. Fire back. But thinking about organisation, what does it mean? Try to set aside a particular amount of time on any given day that you're going to try and get some work done. Equally, Don't set all of your time to work. Don't try and work all day every day. Your brain will explode and then someone will have to repaint the room, and that's just a whole mess of time. Set aside time that you're going to work. It doesn't matter when the time is. I mean, yeah, if you're in school, you have set periods that you're in classes and that's when you do that class's work. Right now you're not. It doesn't matter where you organise your time, but not 4 AM. That's weird. Go to bed. But set the time up. Now, if you have set yourself time to work, work. Now, the big thing, try to eliminate distractions. No. Try and eliminate the distractions. When you're working on a computer, it's hard. I know. There's an internet browser right there, and it's not one of those annoying school internet browsers where everything is blocked. You can access games and social media and all of the other stuff that you would use to procrastinate and waste your time. Try not to. If that is something that you think is going to be really, really hard for you, there are actually delightful plugins and stuff you can get for browsers that will stop you accessing things like social media at particular times of the day. And if anybody wants to talk about those, you can kind of drop me a message. But try to set time for your work. And when you've got time set for work, work. When it's not time to work, don't. Give yourself time to yourself as well. Balance in all things, guys, is super important. Now, when you're thinking about organising your tasks, tackle them based on when they're due, not how much you want to do them. If you have a job that you really, really don't want to do, and you leave that to the last thing, and you leave it to the thing immediately before its deadline, bad plan. It won't make that job any better. Look at when things are due and deal with them as they come up. And again, this is hard. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to go at these things this way. I'm not pretending that it's not. Try to do the things in order, and then, and do them as they come up, not the order you want to do them. Now, another one, and this isn't easy for everybody. Not everybody's in a position where this is doable. If you can, however, try and have a space to work in. Now, and if you've got a space, if you are able to do it, clear it of other stuff. Make it a workspace. Make it somewhere you go to sit down. And when you're there, working is what you're doing. It might seem really daft, but it kind of gives your brain subtle kind of nudges and clues that this is important. And you try and keep it clear that anything that's not related to your work. And even if that means keeping phones and stuff out of the way, do it. You know you best. Keep stuff that's not related to your work out of the way. If you're sharing a space, now that might be a space with another person. It might be a space with another use. You might not have a lot of room. But if you've got a space that you need to share it with something else, when it does come to the time that you are going to use that space to work, take 5 minutes before it and try and clear it of distractions. Give yourself as clear a space as you can to work in. It's one of the things that you guys know. Some of you might have seen me after lessons, clearing stuff away in my classrooms and wondering why I'm such an absolute nut for trying to keep it tidy. It's because to help me work, it has to be. And everybody operates in a similar way. If you've got loads and loads of stuff surrounding you, you'll find that distraction so much easier to stumble into. Try and give yourself that clear space to work if you can. Now, beautiful. No! Now, this is not a dig at delightful tropical places and wanting to be somewhere nice. It is a rather subtle, witty remark of no man is an island, or no person is an island. Ask for help when you need it. It's out here, specifically for my students, for people who are at the school I am at. We are all here, the staff at the school are all here. If you're not at this school, whichever school you are at, your teachers are there. If you're at college, at uni, there are staff there. If you are struggling to access help, you can leave something in the comments and ask, and I can at the very least give you a steer. If you need help with getting something done, find it. There are options. Teams, Glow, the phone. And I don't necessarily always mean teachers and staff. You are not in a complete isolated bubble. Yes, We are all being asked to stay at our homes and not to mix and all the rest of it. But we can still communicate. We can still interact with one another. Use the help that's there. And never ever be afraid, never ever be scared of reaching out, because you are never wasting someone's time by asking for a hand. Even if you ask someone, if it's really, related to work, and you say, how do I do question 3? And they say, well, you're a muppet, it was 12. And I don't know why 12, but 12. It doesn't matter. Asking for help is the right thing to do every single time. Now, I'm going to wind this up, guys. Recap. Sort out your work. Find a space to work. And speak up if you need help. These are just 3 things that can help you get the most out of the next couple of weeks, and hopefully not, but maybe longer, and can help you to kind of achieve the most with the time that you're going to be working from home. And last, be kind to yourself. Things are weird. Things are hard. Everybody has got a lot going on right now. Give yourself a break. And to go against a lot of the stuff I've said in this video, if you sit down at the time you set to work and it's just being a hard day and it's just not going well, the work can wait till tomorrow. There's always time to come back to work. Speak to your teachers, speak to your friends. At the end of the day, guys, the most important thing right now is be kind to yourself, and we'll all get through this at the other end. I'm going to leave that here, guys. For once, if you do want to kind of put anything up, if you want to kind of raise any questions or anything, feel free to either, if you are in my school, contact me through Teams, through Glow. If you're not, you can put things in the comments below. As I say, I can't promise that I've got answers to everything, but I can always try and give you a steer. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later.